So Pulsion's been going for maybe around about 25 years now, well, just over 25 years. Uh, the initial concept was really that I'd been doing a lot of work in business process re-engineering. 25 years ago, that would be moving a lot of processes to digital, what's kind of called digital transformation these days. So I'd read a lot of books on business process re-engineering from folk like James Champy and stuff like that. And really you could see the opportunity to transform business by moving a lot of processes into a digital format. Not 25 years ago, but obviously things like the web, at the time PC, desktop applications, to really improve what people were doing. So you begin to see companies like perhaps Direct Line in the UK who were moving, I think at the time, insurance onto call centres rather than kind of face-to-face selling. And obviously I've been through lots of kind of generational changes from there, things like movement to the web, movement to mobile applications, and latterly things like AI. So it was really the fact that I could see, I think, obviously not alone in seeing this, that people could get business advantage by moving to digital and delivering services in a different way. So that was really the concept behind developing Pulsion, was really to help clients move on and digitise processes. And I suppose in a more modern world that's now known as digital transformation. So the major changes that I've seen since we started Pulsion have probably been three things. So we started Pulsion at the time when there were really PCs, desktops. You had companies with people working in generally large offices, numerous networked PCs onto maybe some sort of back-end server that was sitting in a server room somewhere. So for us, the first big move beyond that, so we were doing kind of desktop applications, help maybe call centres deal with customers, etc. But from there, we obviously the web was a huge move. So no longer did you need as many people in call centres because people could self-service via the web. So the web's obviously been an absolutely huge change, and everything has kind of been built on top of the web from there. After that, you have mobile, really, and obviously the move from people having to log on to a website via a PC, it now becomes them having an app in their pocket, and that gives extra ways of companies to push things to clients. So with a website, most of the time you're waiting for folk to log in. You can obviously email them, etc. But with an app, you can kind of remind them of things. It's more convenient. They can basically access the company elsewhere rather than, for example, if you're a bank, you obviously folk can do their banking in the lunch hour, out having a walk if they wish with a mobile, whereas in the days of the web they had to wait till they got home and log on to a website. So mobile has been another big change. Cloud has been another huge change, perhaps not as noticeable to the public, but certainly to organisations. Cloud being the fact that a lot of those servers that maybe sat in premises or were sat in data centres are now kind of on the cloud. They're still obviously physically sitting in a data centre for people at Amazon or Microsoft, but the way in which applications are put together has changed substantially with cloud applications if you're using things like serverless. So the cloud has been a major change as well. It's also allowed people to scale up without having to add lots and lots of extra costs. So it's kind of like moving from generators on your premises to actually just plumbing in electricity. It really is that sort of transformational change with the cloud. So you just pay for what you use rather than having to build a whole infrastructure to deliver the computing power that you need. So cloud has been a major change, and of course the other one is artificial intelligence. You're seeing artificial intelligence change a lot of really a lot of businesses, and there's huge opportunities. Probably AI, I think, would be one of the biggest changes that I've seen. Have those changes been good or bad? I think pretty much all of them I would consider to be good changes. We're sitting here in lockdown, which is why I'm in a kind of not an office environment, so we're locked down here because of COVID-19. The thing is, without the web, without kind of digital, a lot of people would really be struggling. Certainly I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing just now, and we would be struggling to communicate with folk other than telephone calls, so there's been a lot of changes for good as far as I've seen. The change for bad that people would maybe have predicted at the time that Pulsion was formed, or even before that, would be job losses due to technology. Surprisingly, I've not really seen job losses in the last 25 years as a result of that technology. Generally, things have changed, but it's not resulted in a society that's really too much different from what it was. It's obviously dramatically different in some of the technologies, but in terms of employment figures, I don't really see that things have changed so much. So I don't think there's been too many negative sides of the move to this to this world of lots of pretty advanced technologies. Okay, so in terms of custom development and people thinking that it's too big too big an undertaking for them, then you can do fairly kind of small bits of custom development, really depending on what you're doing. I mean, a website to some extent is just a bit of custom development. So you can do a website in a few days, depending on how simple or complex the website is. So for me, I don't think you're ever too small to do some custom software development. A lot of people have maybe existing products that they want to integrate to maybe save rekeying between product A and product B, and they want to just improve their processes. So I think if you're large enough to be in business almost, then you're probably large enough to do some aspects of custom development. Obviously, projects can get huge. If you're doing very, very large projects, then it can be very big and obviously costly to do that. But it really just scales with the size of the company and what your ambitions are. I mean, we do work for people who are kind of one-person startups to huge multinational companies. So certainly in this field of custom development, it's almost like there's no project too small in some of those things, as the phrase says. So custom work we've built for customers over the years. There's been a lot. We were involved in one of the largest retail stock dealing systems quite early on in our career. We've done a ton of case management systems for clients. Case management in terms of dealing with people who interact with organisations and managing those cases. So we've done that within legal, within charity kind of work as well. We've done a fair bit of mobile work for people who are doing field working out there. We've also used artificial intelligence and cloud for a number of clients who've been kind of using kind of information search, looking for contents of documents, etc. So there are almost too many examples as you can imagine. If you're a software company doing work for 25 years, then you're doing a lot of projects. I don't think there's been everything from online train video service to to tiny websites for people. We've done it over the past while. So what are the key benefits of having a custom solution as opposed to an off-the-shelf solution? I would have kind of thought, looking at the way the market was going, that products would become more popular. Indeed, products are popular rather than custom development. But Gartner produced a report a few years ago, maybe 3-4 years ago, to say about the rise of custom development, and it kind of clicked to me that there's some things that certainly I realised about custom solutions, but I wasn't putting at the forefront of my mind. Custom solutions, certainly software solutions, if your process in a business or your business model is based around digital, then if you have the same product as everybody else and you're using it in the same way as everybody else, then you're pretty much the same as everybody else in terms of process. So you can't do anything maybe more efficiently, or you can't give a different user experience for folks. So if you use an off-the-shelf solution, then sometimes you're kind of limiting yourself to what you can do. And I think what this Gartner report actually recognises is that custom digital solutions in a lot of businesses now is really what your business does. And if you have a different custom solution from everybody else, then you differentiate yourself from everybody else. And obviously, as people are moving more and more, pushing more and more the limits of technology and what it can do and what it can do for business models, then what you're seeing is that people are using more and more technology and more custom technology to achieve their particular secret sauce, if that makes sense. So the key benefits of a custom solution are really that you can have exactly what you want. You can have something that's different from everybody else that perhaps gives you a unique selling point against competitors. I think that would be really it for key benefits. A hybrid solution is possible within software development, to take some products and integrate them with something custom. You see sometimes, for example, you might have a website that you design yourself, let's say it takes payments, but you're probably not going to write an accounting system at the back end to deal with all the various bits and pieces. And I think this is where you see the fact that you can actually take those take your custom solution and integrate it with, say, an accounting back end. So hybrid solutions are certainly possible. You're also seeing with the cloud, you're getting kind of larger kind of Lego brick type services that you can kind of chain together in unique ways to produce unique solutions. So certainly we work a lot with hybrid approaches. One of the biggest things we do is kind of integration, because people do have products, and integrating them is sometimes a challenge, sometimes an opportunity, but it certainly allows you to put together things that are in yet again, as I think I said previously, that are kind of unique to your organisation and perhaps give you a USP over some other clients or some other competitors. So any other comments as to why somebody should consider software development, custom software development? I think if you want to be different and you are digital, then you look at every organisation that has an app. Those have got to be different. Why would one app be the same as another? Especially if you're using that app to create opportunities for your business or to be more efficient than your competitors, then I think you should consider custom software development, apps, websites, AI, etc. It is really, custom software development is really the secret sauce It's the thing that can differentiate you if your business is digital, and there are now very few businesses that don't have a big element of digital. Then custom software development does allow you to basically be more agile and to be more unique, and allow you to do things that perhaps other people can't do, or to make your offering slightly more custom than other people's offerings. So that would be my take on custom software development after 25 years in the business of Pulsion Technology.